Vilma and I are on a cruise to Chile, visiting Punta Arenas, Ushuaia in Argentine Patagonia, and Puerto Montt, disembarking our ship to visit Valparaiso and Santiago on our own.
We enter the southern tip of Argentina and Chile called Patagonia. Punta Arenas is the start to Torres del Paine, meaning Blue Horn. It's the driest city in the planet, with the wind blowing out what little rain it gets. In 1520, Magellan crossed the Pacific to the Atlantic. No one wanted to come to Patagonia, so Chile populated it with families of the Australian convicts.
Surely their families came with conviction. In the mid-1800s, Europeans arrived. This is the Museo del Recuerdo, an outdoor display of the typical housing and machinery of early pioneers. The yellow flower is called retamos. Among the European pioneers are Swiss, Italians, and Croatians.
The Majorino Borgatello Museum is guarded by a German shepherd. The natives are great hunters of guanaco. The natives wore its skin with the fur inside, gave them a naked look to the missionaries, who forced them to wear clothes.
The cemetery gives a cross-section of the ethnicity of the population. French,
This is the lovely city center. The best buys are the alpaca scarves in all colors of the rainbow.
the drive to Fitzroy Farm is 2 hours. On the right is the Strait of Magellan. On left and right of the road are the tundra, where there are no trees. It is good pasture for the sheep and cattle. Each sheep has 1 hectare or 2.5 acres of grazing.
In the late 1800s, the governor purchased 300 purebred sheep from the Falklands, resulting in a wool boom with the erection of many mansions.
Windmills are a good way to harness the power of this windiest of cities.
This is a crested caracara. It eats dead meat on the road. An immature agrita eagle is on the pole. Wild geese come in pairs.
Nestled between the mountains and the lake is the farm we will visit. Through the hillside, a cow peeks at our intruding bus, while a pair of black-necked swans obliviously swim along.
Here's our bus entering the Bahia Azul for a 5-minute ferry. We arrive at Fitzroy Farm of 5,500 square kilometers, the 4th biggest. The 70-year-old owner has lots of hobbies. This farm is for tours. The other is for farming cattle.
There's a menagerie of cows, alpaca, and sheep. Alpaca wool is warmer than sheep's.
The shearing of sheep consists of 3 parts. 1, the face for the sheep to see the grass it eats. 2, the crotch to prepare for birth. And 3, the belly for the milk.
Shearing of sheep is sheer ecstasy.
Through a walkway lined with the ubiquitous yellow retamos, we walk to the dining area. For starters, we have sopapillas and pisco sour. Just out of the pit is a whole lamb, slow roasted for 5 hours. What a rare feast.
Suddenly there is a parade of woolies led by the gaucho. The sheepdogs round them up obediently. These puppies are on training. Don't you just love those little lambs? This lamb with fleece as white as snow comes inside looking for Mary.
It's a long day. We get back to town to see a strike in progress, ironically, with the song Silent Night in the background. At breakfast, we see a rainbow, an omen of a colorful day.
We are now at the Fin del Mundo. Ushuaia is the southernmost city in the world. It marks the end of the longest highway, Panamericana, which stretches from the north of Alaska to the tip of Patagonia.
Ushuaia is the capital city of Tierra del Fuego in Argentinian Patagonia. When Magellan discovered it, he saw smoke from the natives and he called it Land of Smoke. But the King of Spain changed it to Land of Fire because it sounds more poetic. The once uninhabited penal colony to the convicts of Buenos Aires is now a booming city of 80,000.
The Narrow Beagle Channel is an important sea passage. Its set of islands, dramatically enclosed by high snow-capped mountains, is a beacon to wildlife adventurers.
The Isla de los Pájaros, inhabited by cheerful cormorants.
Sharing the island are elephant seals, taking their midday nap.
The mother nurses its pups for 2 months. Then kisses it goodbye and goes for good.
The White Cliffs are the nesting haven of cormorants and their babies. Listen, chicks, this is the way to spread your wings and fly.
These white birds with bright orange beaks and feet are South American wrens.
If I were a seal who loves peace and quiet without noisy birds, I'd live here. I can go to sleep lulled by the undulating waves.
Back in our cozy abode, the Zandam, we let nature come to us. It's a chilly morning with ice floes, a lovely symphony in blue. The mood changes from turquoise into azure blue as we approach the Amalia Glacier. This massive glacier started out as one tiny snowflake.
Indoors, we enjoy a different ambiance, a Christmas scene and the music of the classical piano. Entertainment here is endless. Casino, anyone?
No, thanks.
Ballroom dancing?
Yes. Yes, please.
Or swim, rain or shine. Or soak in the hot tub in the company of Holy cows!
Or dine in elegance at the five-star dining room with an ocean view. We can have a table for two or mix with others, like with our new friends from Maine.
Our athletic Dutch friends look cozy in their Patagonia winter jacket. Brrr, the wind gets Vilma shivering. It's time to go in.
Tonight is Captain's Farewell Gala. We are wined and dined with steak and lobster. We go to sleep wondering what creature lies in our bed, pig or dog.
We answer to the call of the wild in unspoiled Chilean Patagonia. Here abounds blue lakes, blue mountains, and snow-capped volcanoes rising to the sky. Chile has 2,100 volcanoes, with two of the major ones in Puerto Montt.
Calbuco volcano on Yanquihue Lake has mixed gases and lava with multiple craters and has had 13 major explosive eruptions.
Darwin delighted in eruptions and earthquakes, as he connected them with geology, which affects the stability of species.
The famous volcano is Osorno, with its snow cap rising in a perfect cone on Todos Los Santos Lake. It spewed basalt lava, which created channels for the waterfalls that we see here in Saltos de Petrué.
Because of the eruption of the Osorno volcano in 1834, the shores of Yanquihue were abandoned and the rainforest grew into a jungle.
If you see blonde and blue-eyed residents, it's because the Germans settled here in response to the state-sponsored immigration by President Montt. This German school is painted in the colors of the German flag, red, yellow, and black.
What German could refuse a piece of land on the scenic banks of Yanquihue Lake, with snow-capped mountains and primeval forests, a paradise reminiscent of their lovely Bavaria? They were given free land, but had to cut trees and make the land profitable.
Along the drive, I ask our guide the name of the red bush I see everywhere. He replies, Copihue, the national flower of Chile.
We do our final ascent to the top of the volcano to a ski resort. Now you see it. Now you don't. But with or without the snow-capped volcano, it is a refreshingly beautiful sight.
After a long symphony of volcanoes and lakes, we reclude into the small quiet town of Puerto Varas to a scenic restaurant by the lake, Yanquihue. Cumbres means fixed menu, prepared by this wonderful staff. We all enjoy the specialty of the area, salmon, along with pisco sour.
We take a leisurely stroll around the so-called City of Roses, observing the Chilean culture. Captain Hassa is a sailing motorboat, a replica of the old ships used by the German settlers, now used for historic tours of Puerto Varas Bay. Now we're on our own again. From San Antonio to Valparaiso, and a radio taxi costs $150. The young woman welcomes us with a dance and happily walks away with some pesos.
Angels start to appear. An apparition? We must be in Valparaiso.
We climb this hill to Hotel Ultramar. What a pleasant surprise, a picture window view. What a relaxing scene of the waterfront, with a sleeping cat on the deck below.
Without delay, we go out to explore this fabled city we've only heard about. How exciting! We find a Mercado Campesino, a farmer's market. I have to have a cherimoya. The truck with an orange kitty stops, just for me.
Look who's here. Didn't we just part at the cruise ship 2 hours ago? This French lady works in cancer research.
Let the show begin. We see a mural not at every turn, but at every house almost. And what do Chilean women think of men? Everything is so upbeat and colorful, including the menu.
This is as delicious as it is colorful. Ceviche de pulpo sobre bruschettas, queso, pescado y mariscos.
Energized, we continue walking up and down the hills. What a glorious clutter of houses. What a vivid patchwork of colors. We find a cozy nook overlooking the waterfront.
This guy in the red hat gives free tours, but thrives on tips. The dog follows him around except on the slide. And there's a dog who responds to his name, Chocolate.
High on Cerro Concepcion stands the Iglesia San Francisco with its ornate bell tower, a beacon to mariners.
At Cerro Artillera, we see cranes and containers of port. It is reminiscent of the time when navigators shipped gold to Spain.
This is called Alegre Hill because it used to be the red light district. Don't you feel like you're being followed by 1,000 eyes?
After a long walk, we come home to an even better surprise. Valparaiso becomes a night with 1,000 lights.
After a buffet breakfast, I can't resist playing with the resident cat. We walk to the other side of the city. We take the old rickety ascensor, Reina Victoria. There's art everywhere, on the door, narrow alleys and stairs, the post, and yes, even on garbage trucks. And this is what the young rebellious women think.
It looks to me like a city of 1,000 hills. And 1,000 cats. And 1,000 dogs.
We leave the outside art for the indoor art collection of Bavarian, a Croatian who made a fortune with the Chilean saltpeter boom. We find a quiet plaza of colorful tiles. Valparaiso, mi amor. An Ode to Valparaiso by Pablo Neruda.
Valparaiso, what an absurdity you are. How crazy, a crazy port. What a head of disheveled hills that you never finish combing. Never did you have time to dress yourself, and always you were surprised by life. You returned to hanging your dwellings, to painting doors green and windows yellow. The kiss of the wide, irritable ocean that with all its strength beats against your stones. It couldn't knock you down. Pablo Neruda was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1971. Many years after he lived here, the disheveled seaside town is still a magnet for artists, writers, and musicians from all over the world.
Chile is the winemaker's paradise due to its 250 days of sunshine. It's famous for its reds, the top being Cabernet Sauvignon.
Here's a vineyard near Santiago called Viña Indomita in Casablanca. Their darling grape variety is a Carmenere from Bordeaux. It was awarded an honorable mention at the International Wine Competition.
This is Santiago. The Andes glows like a mountain of gold, an echo of its gold boom that started when Pizarro tasked his Lieutenant Valdivia to extract Chilean gold. By 1551, his efforts paid off with 2 tons of gold. Production reached a glowing 50 tons in 2014.
1/3 of Chile's population of 17 million lives in Santiago.
Muchas personas. Our Hotel Vegas is a quaint, curving street of cobblestones. Next door is a nice indoor-outdoor restaurant.
Let's check out the Mercado Central. This is where the locals eat and enjoy fresh fish and shellfish.
Outdoors is a produce market. This fruit vendor brings her cat. It attracts customers by being friendly and pettable. How can we refuse this kitty? Let's buy this sweet and juicy tuna melon for dinner tonight. And my favorite cherry moya.
We have our last meal next door at the Blue Outdoor Cafe. Let's celebrate with a drink. Let's see what our creative waiter concocts for us. A blue libation of margarita and daiquiri.
Here's to Chile, the land of natural beauty with its explosive volcanoes and calm lakes, with its channels ringed with snow-capped mountains and rich with wildlife, its national parks with primeval forests for trekking or quiet enjoyment.
Here's to Chile from us.
Vilma,
And Eric, the spirits of adventure. Salud.